of BB4OD and Straight Black Pride brothers and sisters. This is your brother, DC Radical 1, and this is episode 5 of DC's Radical Thoughts. And this episode was inspired when I was looking through an old phone and I saw a picture of Assata Shakur's book. And it got me to thinking, what does a radical black woman look like in 2024? Because Sister Assata Shakur had a quote which says, "A revolutionary woman can't have a reactionary man." So that made me think, what does a revolutionary woman look like in 2025? What does a revolutionary woman look like in the age of Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, and Glorilla? What does a revolutionary black woman look like in the age of Michelle Obama, Kamala Harris, Oprah Winfrey, and whoever may be the black female celebrity of the day? The Ava DuVernays as a director, and whatever other people they put before us. No disrespect to those people, but none of these women are revolutionary women. These are reactionary women at best. And to paraphrase Malcolm X, they're puppets and clowns at worst. So the question becomes, what does a revolutionary woman look like in 2024, 2025, in the age of black feminism, in the age of the boss chick, in the age of I don't need a man, at least not a black one? What does such a woman look like? Where can you find such a woman? Does this woman even exist in this century? What does this type of woman look like in the age of hair weaves, wigs, 10 pounds of makeup, contoured faces, ridiculous eyelashes, fake eye color, filters, and BBLs? None of these things are those of a revolutionary woman. What does the revolutionary woman look like in the age of lesbianism, in the age of tattoos all up and down your body, in the age of OnlyFans, in the age of going over to Dubai to be used as a sexual toilet, in the age of transactional relationships, in the age of women having a rotation of men that they can use for money, entertainment, food, and sexual gratification? What does the revolutionary woman look like in the 21st century, as we are a quarter way through the century? We have to be honest. That type of woman is very difficult to find. A woman even open to being that type of woman is very difficult to find. And we're in an age where we don't have a lot of examples to show, sisters. That's just, we have to be real. We don't have a lot of young Assata Shakurs running around. We don't even have any young Afeni Shakurs running around, as much as I have an issue with some of the things she did in her life. We don't have a lot of Betty Shabazz running around. We don't even have a lot of Coretta Scott Kings running around, if you will. So we don't have a lot of examples of revolutionary women. There is no strong Black Panther Party for self-defense with strong sisters, those known and unknown, running around. We don't have a lot of examples of exemplary Black women who are race first running around. We don't have a lot of examples. We don't have a lot of Queen Mother Moors running around in the 21st century. So it elicits the question, what does the revolutionary Black woman look like in the 21st century? For those few brothers who have decided to hold the line, have decided that it's the Black woman or no woman, have decided that it's the Black woman or death, have decided to dedicate themselves to the race, that no matter what, they're going to be Black men, and that they know that their life is incomplete without the Black woman, that their life is incomplete without having a complementary relationship with a Black woman, to be able to produce children and to be able to produce families and be able to produce institutions and to better the community and to be a living example of warriorhood and ancestorship. Where do such men, though they may be few in number, where do they find the revolutionary Black woman? And in this case, in speaking specifically for those Black women that would be, for lack of a better word, prime age for mate selection and family building. Those women from, say, 25 to early 40s. Where do you find that revolutionary Black woman? Does such a Black woman exist? And what would she look like? Because we have a lot of, well, I won't even say a lot, I'll say there are sisters on the internet who claim to be such, or they claim to be conscious, or they claim these many titles. But how is one to know whether they are what they say they are? We're going to ponder that question. I'm going to be honest, I don't have the answers, and that's why I'm asking the question. As I said before, the question was sparked by Mama Assata Shakur and her statement. I would say that you can almost measure a revolutionary Black woman nowadays by what she's against, more so than even what she's for. The revolutionary Black woman will be against the feminization of the Black man. The revolutionary Black woman will want the Black man to be strong, will want the Black man to be courageous, will want the Black man to be masculine, will want the Black man to be fierce, will want the black man to be productive. The revolutionary black woman will be the type of woman that's going to support that type of man and encourage that type of manhood, and will do what they can to make sure that that type of man is the best he can be. Whether she's nurturing him to be a shoulder to cry on in his deepest, darkest points of despair, but also giving him a swift proverbial kick in the butt to get him motivated to be himself. The revolutionary black woman will speak life into the black man that is trying to do something positive, that is trying to uplift the race, that is trying to be a man amongst men, that is trying to help black people get out of the muck and mire and degradation and destruction of the modern world, that's trying to live up to the legacy of his ancestors. The revolutionary black woman is going to be behind that man and beside that man and try to encourage him the best of her ability to have him become the best version of himself. The revolutionary black woman will be the type of woman to inspire a black man, to make him think thoughts greater than he would normally think, to inspire ideas that he normally wouldn't have, to fill in the blanks and the gaps of his vision. The revolutionary black woman is going to be a black woman who respects herself, who carries herself in a respectable manner. A revolutionary black woman is a black woman who everyone will not have access to. One of the things that the Panther sisters did back in the day, and I don't know how it started. These older brothers and sisters in the Panthers that I talked to, it seems to have been kind of an organic thing. They made it so that every man didn't have access to them. Panther sisters were primarily, almost exclusively, for Panther brothers. In the old Nation of Islam, the MGT were for the FOI. Those people in those organizations, those sisters particularly in those organizations, they held a standard that in order for you to be even considered worthy of being a mate, you had to be part of those organizations. Today we don't have those organizations. So realistically, what is a sister that is holding that standard? Where does she go? To that sister that's holding that standard, I tell her, look in your community for those brothers that are doing the work and go amongst those brothers. More than likely, being completely honest, you'll find yourself outnumbered. That type of sister may not even be able to pick amongst the brothers because it may be too many. It'll be hard for her to sort out who's who, sort out who's real, sort out who's sincere, sort out who is worthy of her time and attention. But what does the revolutionary black woman look like in 2024, in 2025? Well, the best way I can put it is the revolutionary black woman is going to look completely opposite of the standard black woman. The revolutionary black woman loves herself enough to not need European looking wigs, European looking weaves, 15 pounds of makeup, and all the other things that we talked about, which are in essence nowadays the standard uniform for black women. The revolutionary black woman has no need for these things and no desire for these things because she is complete within herself, and she finds her natural beauty sufficient. Nowadays, there's a lot of sisters who, for various reasons, don't find their own beauty sufficient. Finding your own black beauty and loving your own black self and being satisfied with your own black beauty is sufficient for the revolutionary black woman. That's part of what it makes it revolutionary in today's time, because it is so rare. That's one of the primary qualities that you'll find about a revolutionary black woman. A revolutionary black woman, as I said before, they carry themselves in a dignified manner. There's not a lot of theatrics and a lot of emotional outbursts and a lot of needing to be seen all the time, and a lot of gyrating and twerking in public and all these things that have come to almost really become a caricature of modern black women. The revolutionary black woman has no need for these things. At the highest level, a revolutionary black woman is in the community doing work amongst other brothers and sisters, organizing, teaching, training, studying. This is what the revolutionary black woman is often doing. The revolutionary black woman, if she happens to have children, she's teaching her children. She's teaching them to love themselves, teaching them to respect themselves, teaching them about their history, their culture, their heritage. She's studying, making herself a better woman. Those are the things that the revolutionary black women are doing. The simple fact of the matter is, in the 21st century, the revolutionary black woman isn't celebrated. They aren't put at the forefront. In fact, they're so hidden that many brothers will contend that they do not exist. I contend otherwise, but I contend otherwise because I know some revolutionary black women. And I dare say that I have been influential in their lives and part of the reason why they will qualify. So to those sisters, and I won't name names here, because if I start naming names, anybody that I leave out will be offended. I salute you. Because to be honest, as I'm doing this podcast, the reality of the situation is I would not be doing this type of thing from the media perspective if it was not for my producer, Cindy Ashby. She's an example of the type of sister that inspired me to do this type of work. There have been other sisters who, after meeting me and having conversations with me, basically said, you have a lot of knowledge and you need to share it with the people. And they encouraged me to teach and go out amongst our people and educate our people. And so to those sisters who shall be unnamed, I thank you. There's a sister that I know, that I've known for a decade now. She is pretty much the prototype and the example of what a modern revolutionary black woman is. She doesn't seek a lot of attention. She does a lot of work in the community and has been for a long time. She supports a lot of causes. She is strong in her own right. Very sharp, very intelligent, very organized, but also very caring and cooperative, but definitely not a pushover. She's the type of sister that will give you the encouragement or the proverbial kick in the butt, whichever one is needed. And, when she hears this, I'm sure she'll be able to figure out that she's the person I'm talking about. And to her, I owe a great thanks for being along for this journey over the last decade or so. And for those brothers out there who are looking for a revolutionary black woman, I'll just say, I'll give the advice that Baba Baruti has given, and even my mother gave me years ago. My mother basically told me, if you go out and do the things that you enjoy, and you go out and do the things that are important to you, and go out and do the things that you're passionate about, when you do that, you'll meet people that you have things in common with, and you're more likely to find a mate, if you will, or complement in those spaces. And Baba Walimu Baruti gave similar advice. If you go out and do the work, you will find your complement amongst those who are doing the work. And I might add, if you don't find your complement amongst those who are doing the work, you're at least more likely to find a complement amongst people who are curious about what you're doing, people who are open and amenable to what you are doing, people who at least want to have some knowledge about what you're doing. And so that is basically the advice I would give to brothers and sisters. But going back to our original question, what does the revolutionary black woman look like in 2024? She looks like the antithesis of what many people are calling the modern black woman. The revolutionary black woman is in many ways a throwback. She's a classic black woman, along with being a classy black woman. She's a timeless black woman. The spirit of revolution that has existed in our women from time immemorial, going all the way back to Queen Nzinga 500 years ago, going all the way back to Hatshepsut, probably, 3,000 or so years ago. The spirit of the revolutionary woman, black woman, is eternal. And so knowing that, there's a certain amount of comfort in that. Knowing that a man like Malcolm X came from a woman who was already doing the work. Knowing that many of our greatest had mothers that helped mold and shape them into becoming what they were. And so with that, for those few revolutionary black women out here who have to live amongst the Nicki Minaj's and the Cardi B's and the Sexy Reds and these other caricatures of black women, who have to go out here and have to socialize with sisters who say they don't need a man or they don't need a black man, and have to go out here and socialize amongst the integrationist negresses and the Serena Williamses after they were with the white man, and are out here and have to socialize and be amongst these various other black women who are counter-revolutionary, who have no idea about what being a revolutionary black woman is, and if you told them about it, they wouldn't like it, they wouldn't enjoy it, and they wouldn't want to be a part of it. For those sisters who have resisted the mental manipulation, the psychological warfare, and the destruction of the minds of our women and our people and our children, to the revolutionary black women who are out here. For those of you who may come across this podcast, you have my thanks, you have my praise, and you have my love. With that, brothers and sisters, this has been DC's Radical Thoughts. I say Abibi for Hodie and straight black pride. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also follow us on our other social media platforms. On Instagram, we're at dc.radical1. On Twitter, we're at dc_radical_ONE. And the Cash App is $DCRadical1. Again, thank you for subscribing. Abibi for Hodie and straight black pride.